Welcome to One on One, the Daily Items digital program featuring Susquehanna Valley newsmakers interviewed by Daily Item reporters. Today's guest is Southern Columbia wide receiver Julian Fleming, interviewed by Robert Ingalls.
The Sunbury Motor Company.
Ian Chikuski, certified Ford sales professional, Mount Carmel and Shamokin area.
Right now, save $8,000 on all 2019 Ford Escapes in stock.
Austin Martin, Kia Elite Sales Consultant, Maranatha Christian School.
Right now, save $5,000 on all 2019 Kia Sorrentos in stock. A tradition of trust since 1915.
Welcome to One on One. I'm Robert Ingalls, and today we're joined with senior Julian Fleming from Southern Columbia. How are you today, Julian?
Just great. How are you?
I'm doing all right. So we're going to jump right into it here. Recently, ESPN named you the #1 high school recruit in the country. What's that like?
It is something. It's definitely a big, accomplishment to have on my part, and I do feel very good about it. But at the same time, I told a lot of people, there's 2 months till I go down to college, and once you go to college, stars are gone, rankings are gone, and all that's kind of left in the past.
Does it add any sort of pressure to you at all on finishing up the season?
I don't think so too much. The most pressure I think I get is from myself, to be honest with you, and that kind of just drives me to continue to improve.
Speaking of pressure, Deion Sanders recently tweeted out at you. Is that kind of crazy to see a tweet from primetime there?
He's done it once before, and at one of the Under Armour camps, we talked a lot, and I got to know him, and he got to know me a little bit, and he told me he was impressed, and he reached out twice, and I'm excited, and it is definitely something big to look at because not everybody gets that to happen to him.
No, is that pretty cool getting to meet him and hearing from him?
It is very cool. He's a very he's still like a kid a little bit at heart. He likes running around with the kids, having a good time, talking a little bit. So he's a cool guy.
Did he give you any advice on anything?
Stay away from girls, drugs, alcohol, and anything that could get you in trouble. Just keep your head on straight.
The good advice then.
Yes, sir.
That's good. You have three teammates going to Big Ten schools.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Gage going out to Michigan. You've got Cal going to Michigan State, and Preston going to Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys talk about that at all, being in the Big Ten, playing against each other?
Every once in a while there's a little smack talk going on, especially with the records right now. Team Up North just lost, Michigan State lost, and Wisconsin already lost. So Ohio State, we're looking pretty good right now. So, we talk a little bit between ourselves. But, we still have a couple more games. Ohio State still has to play Wisconsin and Team Up North. So we'll see how it goes.
Is that going to be fun, getting to play against your teammate, your teammates at that point?
I honestly think it's going to be a great time. We're teammates now, and it's transitioning in the rivalry, so it's going from close to real far. So, I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be a fun ride.
What was probably the best part for you about the whole recruiting process? I know it gets kind of crazy and it gets long, but what is something that was fun, a fun memory or?
The most fun thing about a visit in general is just being able to be out and be with a lot of the players and just enjoy their time, get to meet some coaches and just interact with the recruits at the same time. But my favorite part of recruiting was getting it over with.
Has it been nice now that it's all done and you're settled?
It has been nice. It's calmed down a lot. I really don't have that many people bothering me. Not too many coaches texting me just because it's so late. So it's calmed down quite a bit, and I couldn't be happier with it.
Speaking of getting to meet all the other players, what was that like, getting to meet some of the other top recruits? And was there any competition amongst you guys at all?
At camps there's always competition. Everybody's looking to prove themselves against the other top guy and things like that. So at the opposite of me was Elias Ricks, who's #1 corner, and we're great friends. Outside of football, we have a big Snapchat group with pretty much all the recruits in our class. So, honestly, I'd say it's more of a friendship thing, looking out for each other more than a competition.
That's cool that you get to keep in touch with them. That's, one of the great things about social media today. You get to talk with those guys and hang out with them. Are they all pretty much everybody settled?
Almost everybody. I think there's a couple kids who still need to commit, but yesterday one of the #1 tight ends just committed, and he was about one of the last ones we had. So I think we have 1 or 2 more kids that are in their chat that haven't committed, so we'll see how it goes.
Now, obviously, you can only pick one school to go to, at least at a time anyways.
Yes.
Was it tough telling some of the other coaches, hey, nothing personal, but I'm going out to Ohio State?
it was definitely difficult. A lot of the schools felt like they had me or put a lot in the line to offer me and put time into me, and it was definitely hard saying no to some schools. It was hard, especially calling them and telling them like, hey, I'm not coming here and I'm committing here. So that was probably one of the most difficult parts. But honestly, when it came down to it, I was just ready to make my decision.
Why Ohio State?
I'll give you the same thing I gave everybody else. It just felt like home, and the players made me feel super welcome, and they're one of the best in the development aspect as well as education. With they have a great internship program. So those are the things that stuck out to me.
Are your parents happy?
My mom's happy. My grandparents are happy. My aunts, my uncles are happy. So at first they were a little iffy about it, but we changed them, so they're all wearing scarlet and gray now. So.
Change them from what?
A couple PSU fans. That's about it. So there's opposite end of the spectrum. Now we got some scarlet and gray.
That's wonderful. So, any words of advice, for the underclassmen now that you've gone through this whole process? Have you had anything, to tell them like, hey, look out for this, don't do this,
There's a lot of stuff to not do. But, everybody's probably heard that spiel from their parents or from, a guardian or things like that. But just keep your head on straight. Don't get too big of a head. Definitely stay grounded because, the athletes all the way around the country, they're just as good as you and or better. And once you get to college, all those rankings and all the hype and all the glorious stuff that people say about you, it's completely gone and you're starting from scratch. So just be ready.
Is it nice to get some of the spotlight on like a small program like this?
Well, it definitely is. We're a school between two cornfields, so obviously we're kind of off the path from a lot of places. We probably have one of the most amount of college coaches stopping in here throughout the past couple years. So it's definitely been nice. Especially a bunch of our players now have offers, and it's just nice to have Southern Columbia, on the national map at this point.
So when you get out to Ohio State, what are you looking forward to?
Playing football, hopefully. Hopefully, starting early, getting a good look in on the playbook, memorize that stuff, and get ready to play and keep my grades up.
And what is something from Southern here that you're going to take with you out to Ohio State? Whether it's something you learn on the field, off the field.
I don't know. I always think there's going to be parts of me that are still from Southern. I'm going to carry. It's going to carry everything with me, to be honest with you. Just the messages from coach, messages from my teammates, the friendships I've built. So hopefully they all stay intact and, just stay around for the rest of my life.
All right. Thank you very much, Julian.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
You've been watching 101. Thanks a lot.
Save over $4,000 on all 2019 Hyundai Tucsons in stock.
Thanks for watching, and be sure to tune in next month for another edition.